everybody, welcome to my channel, Bohemian Lori Travels, and our next adventure right here is at Verona Beach State Park. So I hope you enjoy this video, and we'll definitely give you my take on how we enjoyed the state park at the end of the video. Here we are at the front gate. We're checking in. They do have a day use area, which is straight over there. This year it is $7 for the day use. And then you go over to the right, and that's the campground area. Right now we are checking in. So today, since we are really close to our home base, I have decided to drive my car because we're gonna go on, we're gonna take a little ride a little bit later to show you something else. And here's at the entrance of the campgrounds. They did let us check in like 2 hours early without an extra fee, so that was a huge plus right there. So John's hooking up the back end of it, the back end tent. So as normal, you know, around this area, there's not many, you know, like van lifers that camp out of a van. It's mostly tents or campers. But this is how close we are to the water. This is Oneida Lake. Hey Fred. Hi Fred. He didn't have his traveling anxiety meds, so because we're not too far from our home base, so, you know, we don't like to give it to him unless we have to. So he gets a little anxious, especially when there's noises, but it'll be good once John and we have everything all put up, because he'll go right up in the van and he will lay down. This is a state park, so you do have to have your allowed pets, but you do have to have, so if you do have pets, you do have to have an updated rabies vaccine and a license, which you have to show them as proof, not the tags, but you do need the actual documentation for it. So at Verona Beach State Park, we are at spot 18, which is right on the corner. You have your jump station over there, and it's right next to the splash pad, and there's the concession stand over there, and there is the restrooms and shower houses over there. And this is as close as, since we booked late, this is as close as we could get to the lake, which, as you can see the lake right there. This is our spot. And there's the lake. There's easy access walking right down over around by the lake. Someone is dumping. We do have a new addition to the van. We got one of those doggy gates that's gonna go around the van and around for the inside, so he can come in and out very easily. Of course, he will still be leashed, but because he has anxiety, so he would be a runner. So, hi Fred. Hi Fred.
Okay. No?
Figured we would give Fred a little walk. They have many trails here. Straight across is Oneida Lake. This is where the splash pad is. And they have like a walk around the campgrounds.
No, we're going this way.
He's just sniffing. So there is the beach area. And Site 18 is, it's okay. Site 18 is actually a really good spot. You can bring your coffee right over here on the lake. They have a really nice area where you can swim with lifeguards out there. And not bad of a spot. Would have been nice to get one of these spots, but we have had to book late in the season due to unforeseen circumstances, my surgeries, etc. So we got some adorable little duckies or geese swimming around here, duckies. Just a little more insight into the van conversion. John had built this little table right here. Lifts up like that. In case you wanna, this is where he makes the coffee, puts the coffee pot here. And we use the coffee, it's like a 3-cupper. We use that whether or not we are plugged in or out. Always have Grandpa Gus's on hand. And he also did install outlets here and on the outside. And those outlets can work off our solar as well. Fred's just watching everybody. So I'm doing a little review. It's not sponsored or anything, but we ended up getting another one of these griddles. From Aldi's, they have them back this year. So if you've ever wanted Blackstone style, yeah, and you really can't, it's not in your budget, definitely check out Aldi's because they just started to bring them out this past weekend, and they're 59 bucks. Yeah, so I think it's a great, we did buy a new one this year only because last year we left ours at home so we could have one at home too. So I think this is a great little deal as we're cooking our beans and our plant-based burgers for dinner. Okay, so now we're entering the picnic area, which is where you can come in to pay $7 for the day, a car. We're walking Fred, his potty walk. They have plenty of tables and grills here. That's the bathhouse right there. Is a concession stand like
Down here, yeah.
the next one? Okay.
Go down. Good, go down.
So they do have a concession stand, which is on the other side of the bathhouse. And we already looked, and they have ice cream and they have one vegan kind too. Yep. We might have to give that a try out tomorrow. And this is a pavilion or something. Yep. Yeah. I think I saw where they're having parties here. Yeah. And then you come upon the beach. And there is your rules. We can't go down there because dogs are not allowed on the beach. But and again, you know, this is our first time actually camping here. It's been years, since we've actually came here to actually for the day. So John and I are just people watching, aren't we? And you know, you know how you have your little campers that just pull their chair right facing you and watch you. We don't know if it's because they really don't see a van set up like ours, or just because, you know, people do that. But we got one behind us that their camper, they're on the lake, but their doorway is not facing the lake. It's facing us, so we're thinking maybe he didn't know how to back it in, the camper in. But so yeah, so we're just people watching. And checkout was normally at 11 a.m. But we see a lot of people leaving now. They're going over here to dump out. And so we're thinking that, you know, they might pay for, let's say, tonight. But instead of rushing around, they're, you know, leaving tonight. Of course, it is supposed to start raining tonight after midnight. And I know a lot of people, you know, don't like to camp in the rain. We don't particularly, but we're here until a couple of days, so so we're gonna stick it out this time. But we're just gonna sit here. We're here. We're gonna have a fire a little later and people watch. That's the only thing with New York State is that our weather. I mean, we've had a snowstorm in May before. You know, our weather goes pretty crazy. We've had a lot of rain here. We actually planted some herbs and they are not sprouting all that well. So we're thinking it's because of the weather that we've had. It's been cold, and I mean cold enough to put on heat in your house. But yeah, so it's supposed to be like 60s, 70s, but we're supposed to get rain again. So one other thing that John and I were talking about was that there's a lot of camp spots right here where we're at, and there's bathrooms. We're just curious on, you know, yet we see everybody that's in this little area, and there's a nice bathroom in the center here, and there's one on the other end right there, down there. You know, like, I don't know. We wouldn't use an RV if we had bathroom in the like in a Class C or in a camper. We wouldn't use the bathroom in it. We would use the parks. And John and I were saying, it's like, are we like, I said, are maybe, you know, we're just too used to not taking that stuff for granted. You know, we use the park's bathrooms, showers. But I said, well, maybe they're just bougie people. I don't know. I'm not saying anything bad about people that use their own bathrooms, you know, but I said maybe we're just too, are we country bougie? But, you know, I guess we're just used to, you know, this is set up for off-grid. So we have our own portable potty, and we have our own, you know, like shower tent, and we have a shower that, you know, a solar shower. So we can go off-grid, but maybe we're just, I guess people camp differently, you know. So, I don't know. Just the things that we actually discuss.
We don't weigh out the best of it, but something wonderful did come from our relationship. That young man right there.
A little bit of TV time with the boy. It's raining, but I wanted to take a peek of the water. Before I go in for the night. See all the bugs. It's always such a relaxing time when you can go camping by the water. Just pretty amazing. This view never ever gets old. You know, New York State has some really great places. Great water views, waterside camping. It never gets old. All right, guys, talk to you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Coffee first. John's been up since like 2 in the morning. It was windy and raining, and now we know why everybody left last night instead of this morning. But so again, this camping trip will be cut short. So John had to put up some tarps on the side of the canopy. He had to empty the canopy top because it was swooping with water. We had to take down the back tent because it was swooping with water. So looks like we're gonna have our coffee and then head out of this place. It's cold and raining, and yeah, it's, you know, rain here in New York State, it's not like spurts of rain where you get some rain then it stops. It will rain for days. And we're on the water, so it's windy. So even, you know, camping in a camper, people left because it's hard. Nothing to do, especially if it rains for days. So this is how we ended up with the van. It's pretty windy still, wet and windy. That's the weather here. I'm gonna take my coffee for a short little walk here over by the water. But yeah, I had plans on taking us over to the lighthouse. That would have been pretty. I've never seen the lighthouse at nighttime, but it's gonna rain. We're gonna have a period from like 10 to 5 today of the rain. Is supposed to be stopping, but and then it's gonna pick right up and rain for the next couple of days. I tell ya, we pick them real good. So the bathrooms are really nice and clean. I did not get a chance to show you those, but they are very nice and clean, updated. In my opinion, they are. They have water over at the dump station, or if you need water. They have the little doggy potty stuff, little potty bags and trash. Looks like there's a sandbar out there, look. So, yeah, not too many campers here. It does seem to, like, it kind of swoops down, so it does looks like there's a little bit of flooding. But you know, it's hard. You know, I totally get it. You know, the van is, we love the van when we can get outside. It is a smaller van. It just fits for sleeping purposes, or sitting, in case it's raining. Have my coffee. Here is the where you check in and out. Cute little park office. I just wanted to add in that they do have firewood for sale. It's $6 for a bundle, and you can either get them at the camp store, or they have like an area in where you actually camp, where you can go and drop the money in and take your bundle. So that's a nice little plus. I just wanted to add that in. So the van, it does, you know, it does fit very well for 2 adults, and if you have 1 small pet. But, you know, it's not something that you can, in my opinion, maybe it's because we're older, that one person could live in the van, definitely. And if you had a small pet, our van is set up to live in it if someone needed to live in it. But I think it's because with us being our age, if, you know, there being 2 adults, for the City Express is a small van. But again, it is all done up to live off-grid. So, but this year with me having health problems, you know, we didn't pre-book ahead of time. I will be having 1 more surgery, so not quite sure when that will be. But yeah, but it's hard. I commend all of you van lifers that live in your van. I really commend you so well. If we had a Class C, we were talking about that, and I think that might be our next step, is to sell our, you know, our van and to get a Class C. We have talked about that, but due to John's diagnosis and me having health problems, we kind of put that off a bit. But, you know, we're still, that's thoroughly on our mind, still, right at the top. Because you know what? You live once, and you live your life however you want to live it. Adjust your life to your health problems and make it sustainable for you. Make it sustainable so that you can enjoy life. So I am gonna cut this video off and call it a day, call it the end of the video. This would have been a beautiful stay if it wasn't raining, all this thunder and lightning, and there is a little bit of flooding where we're at. So I hope to see you guys on the next adventure. Definitely make sure you're subscribed, and look at that view. I mean, come on, seriously, right? Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you know, comment on the videos. I'm pretty good at commenting back. I don't get many of them, so, but yeah, make sure you subscribe, and that way, and hit that notification bell, so that way you'll know when I put out either a short. I've been doing some shorts in between, you know, so that you'll know when I'm either put out another video or another short. So make sure you guys live a happy life. Get out there when you can. Verona Beach State Park, yeah, I recommend it. They've got a lot of stuff for kids. They've got trails, which we didn't even, you know, get to. The bathrooms are wonderful, clean. They have a concession stand, which we didn't get to as well. But definitely, I highly recommend Verona Beach State Park. So I hope everyone has a great day and live life to the fullest. Peace, everybody.